Hello to you, my fellow Dark Ones, and welcome to GregTech New Horizons, a mod pack inspired by two people. One of them is Greg, who was really into the crafting part of Minecraft. You want planks? There is a tool for that. You want armor? There is a tool for that. You want to make a bed? There is a tool for that. You want to make tools? There is a tool for that. And the other person is Dream Master, a person interested in the survival aspect of Minecraft. Let's eat food every 2.5 seconds, just for walking. Let's make it really dark. And let's add the creepiest creepers. And jumping creepers. We should be extremely grateful that we have spawned right next to a village. And now that we actually know that we have spawned right next to a village and we are safe, let's try to find a bed. Actually, before I forget, let's change the mod pack to hardcore. I think the main reason that people don't really want to start this mod pack in hardcore is that at the start, you're going to die 4 or 5 times, at least to hunger. It's a bit of an issue, that's what we're looking for. That is a roguelike dungeon, and thankfully there are no hostile creatures here. Let's block it, just in case. And up here, there's always a bed. And well, a decent amount of resources. We take them all. Not the book. I think my main quest at this very moment was to just get a bed, but let's continue with the actual quest line. If I'm not wrong, we need 5 pieces of wood, we have 6, we need 8 pieces of dirt, and then from now on all we need is gravel, which should be abundant in the village, but there's also a chest up there. Give me steel. Oh, you did. And there's also another village. Okay, I just checked the village for all the holes that monsters can climb up and we seem to be safe. Just ignore the fact that we don't have walls on one side. We did manage to get a ton of gravel, but we were not lucky. We couldn't get flint, but thankfully there is a recipe for flint, so we can have our crafting station. And since getting flint is a bit difficult, I think our first investment is gonna be a shovel. It's a bit faster. We just started the game, but this is our first night. Come on, sleep. Lovely. Now I suppose we can get the rest of our tools, which is a pickaxe, a hoe, as well as a sword. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Since we do have limited lives and you cannot use a furnace in order to make charcoal, let's use the torches that we have sparingly. I don't need chandeliers. I just went to that mountain over there and did manage to find a bit of coal and lignite. And on our way back, we have some aluminium gravel, which we can harvest. Even though Vela is telling us we can't. Yeah, there's garbage coal everywhere. There is a quest which provides us with 64 ladders. I completed that by submitting some stairs, and this seems to be the center of an ore chunk from GregTech. That is granitic mineral sand, so... is it iron? It's honestly not that bad, it's just that I don't need iron, I need a bit of coal. Another iron. Okay. Thankfully in this version they actually show you where the center of the vein is, if you press F9. That's a neat touch. That is perfect, we have found coal. Lignite and coal. But since it is nighttime, let's go back to the village, take a nap, skip the night, and then go back to mining. This was actually outside the village, so we cover it, just in case. Also, I think in the journey map, yeah, you can toggle the ores, so we know that one is coal. It's a bit ironic that we're sitting on top of coal, but in order to process that coal, you actually do need to have some coal. Because you get the raw coal, which is almost useless. But I did manage to gather a decent amount of coal, we have plenty of torches in the village, and I have smelted some stones so that we can make a few tools. Like a mortar. You know, that gives us a better yield on flint. And I think it also, yeah, gives us flour. The problem is the durability, but it's not a big deal. I do have a feeling we have to drop it in water. I did not make the cauldron, it was already here. Yeah, that gives us the other dough, which we can eat in order to gain extra hearts. We can convert it into the other dough, which we can again eat in order to gain extra hearts. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hi. That was freaky. But anyways, you get the gist. We can cook it in order to get some bread. Food is an issue, obviously. I have planted some crops. The ones that I have found in the gardens. Yay! Big bread. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Huge achievement. I think they're exiting from here. Well, at least the spiders. There are a few holes. Yeah, there are also weird mobs. Anywho, that's not very important. I wanted to make myself a juicer, and then I realized the recipe has been changed in this mod pack. You need stainless steel. I didn't really remember that, but we can make a soft mallet, and we can combine it with any fruit in order to get the juice. It's slightly better, and it also adds to our variety of food. Oh, and by the way, villagers are dropping emeralds. I didn't do anything to them. Another very small point that I wanted to mention before I go mining is that after you make the flint sword, this chapter of the questline will be open. I have killed 20 chickens, so we get a quarter heart. Once we get 4 of them, I will have extra lives. It has been a while later, I gathered some coal, I gathered some iron, you know, we have 2 iron deposits. And we do need to use it in order to craft a few tools. So here is a file. Maybe we should get 2 of them. They're actually quite useful. A bucket is not a very bad idea. Maybe even 2. A saw is also not a very bad idea. We're not really going to use it for wood. Since I have extra plates, let's also make a screwdriver. Why not? I actually need to make some ladders, and in order to make ladders, what we're going to need are screws. So there you go. Some iron screws. That's not much. Yeah, that's gonna give us 16 ladders. That's garbage. Yeah, a bit better. I have planted some cotton. We don't really have a crazy amount, but those are some ladders. I'm just gonna stop saying that it has been a while later, but yeah, it has been a while later. I gathered a bit more iron, and what we're looking for is some leather, which we just got a bit. We're not just harming cows out of pleasure. We need them to progress. The pigs are just for fun. I also don't really want to destroy every single cow in our immediate vicinity, so let's breed some of them before we kill them. Oh my goodness! Horses! It's a good method of transportation. The reason that I had to hunt a few cows was that we need leather in order to make tanned leather. Inside the loot chest we did manage to find some steel. We can make a steel ring, and I can make myself a backpack. It's a bit of an expensive material. You need tons of cotton. So far all the cotton I had gave us 3 leather, and that's it. And I have cotton everywhere. Even over there. At least while I'm waiting for the leather, let's make ourselves a lunchbox. So that I don't really have to carry like 4 million different types of food in my inventory. Whoop. I was not looking for you, but thank you for the string. We sleep first. Well, we do have 7 tanned leather, which is amazing. And I can make 2 more. So let us get started. That is our steel ring. And that should be our first ever backpack, which ironically you can't wear it as a backpack, but it has decent storage, which is great. Obviously after mining for around 10 minutes, the rest of the leather is ready, so we can have a bed. Well, by bed, I just mean a sleeping bag, so that I can go and explore and skip the night. The final tanned leather we're going to keep, because later on I can make a saddle and ride a horse, after we get enough leather, because I use them all. So I have made extra tools, we have a decent supply of food. Let's go and see what we can find. Also, durability of flint tools are garbage. Maybe we should just also take a sword. I just found a village and life is not going amazing. Oh, they're shooting the goblins. I thought we were under attack. But exploration always pays off. We have found a crowbar and also 2 pistons and aluminium. Oh, and finally, a blacksmith. What do you have? Copper and nickel is not the best. Flippers are. Actually, I can wear them. I'm very grateful that I have also found a tinker's hut with some copper parts. We don't need them. Copper is abundant. But we take the piston and all of these garbages. They're a bit of a pain to make. Hi. Well, I have been exploring, obviously, and look what I found in a chest. Bronze broadsword, tinkers. Didn't know you can do that. That's actually the main reason that I have been carrying an iron sword blade. I thought maybe I can find a tool rod and just assemble a sword. But oh boy, that was great. Because with tinkers, we have iguana twigs. So everything will be upgraded. I just got back home in order to drop some items, and I think I have made an amazing discovery. So let's get ourselves a blank pattern. We make a tool rod pattern. That's going to give us a wooden tool rod. If we use wood. And does that mean I can make an actual tinker's tool? Iron sword. So we don't need the bronze one. You know, the worst part of this amazing discovery is, well, I saw some pickaxe heads and I never brought them back. Well, I had to walk back to the village. Obsidian. Nice. But the stone pickaxe head can only be used to make casts. But thankfully, there is a flint pickaxe head. I didn't have to walk, I guess. But I am going to use that flint pickaxe head. It's better to just invest in tinkers. We will level it up soon. The only problem is I have to walk back. Guess what? I walked back home. And the most important thing that I was looking for during my exploration was a rubberwood tree. And it's next to our home. Never mind, we didn't get a sapling, but at least we know we can find it close by. Anyways, moving on, there are a few things that we have to do which require water, so I had to come to the lake. We need some clay dust, and what we need to do is to get a clay bucket. That's a quest. Obviously, I want to start making a tinker smeltery, and unfortunately in order to do that I have to unlock the next chapter. Because I do want to get the quest, I don't really want to skip everything. And for some reason our next quest requires wood pulp. We don't really have infinite water sources in this mod pack, so I had to come to the lake. We need to make some paper, 16 to be exact. Sadly our next quest was to make every single tinker station, and looting them doesn't really count. So I had to make all of them again. but we don't need them. We already have them. I keep forgetting the fact that, yeah, the mod pack is a bit difficult, but the quest book is a pain. Long story short, in order to make a tinker smeltery, I first have to make a coke oven, and I do have to wait for every single brick. We need to make sure that the quest is going to count. But I can't really complain, we will have access to charcoal, which is great. Move. Jerk. There are no guards, right? Yeah, we just put some logs, we will get charcoal. I had to wait for 4 charcoal, but at least I did manage to make myself some decent food. That is the 4 charcoal. We should get the quest. Detect. Thank you. So can I move to Tinkers, please? Well, if I get 4 stacks of cobblestone, they're going to give me an iron pickaxe head. I'm not really looking forward to this, but I wanted to tear down the village anyways, so who cares? Actually, we already have a bunch. I don't have to mine. Oh, I have already mined it. So there you go. You take it, and I'm also going to take an iron shovel head. I know I did mention that I'm not going to mention that it has been a while later, but if you look at the timer, yeah, it's been a while. I have been exploring like a madman, gathering resources, and also doing a ton of mining. And when I say a ton, I really mean a ton. We have everything everywhere. I'm not very organized, I know that. But I even have like 3 modifiers on my pickaxe. Anyways, the quest book was really putting me off because you get quests bit by bit. It never shows you what comes next, so what I have done is that I have changed the view mode. So everything is open and I know what to do. We just need some tungsten steel. No. Wrong quest line. So Tinker's construct has finally been unlocked, we get a firework rocket, and what it comes down to is to make a ton of grout. So making grout itself is not that difficult, but remember, we don't have infinite water sources in this mod pack, so I have to go to the lake and I'm really lazy to do that. These are the spawn chunks, so I think they're always chunk loaded. When I went exploring, I planted some trees and we have a ton. What we are looking for in rubber trees is this, sticky resin. For what I want to do, we need 26 of them and I think we should have it if I do manage to find them, yes. Basically, we're going to make the tank from railcraft. That will give us an infinite water source. We need 52 iron rods, which is gonna be surprisingly expensive. I think all the villagers also died. No, actually, one of them is alive. 2 of them. We should make sure that they make babies, because they do give us emeralds. I do use the emerald to make hammers. It's actually quite nice. I just had to chop down a bit more trees, but that should be our tank. It's a 3x3x3 hollow in the middle. And depending on the humidity, you will get some water. So we're getting 8 millibuckets of water per tick or per second, because humidity is at 80%. So obviously it does take a bit of time to get refilled, but we can start crafting. But there's also water in the well. Obviously the main reason that we needed some water was to make some clay, so that we can get some clay dust, so that we can make some grout. This might sound like a very horrible idea, but I think we're going to need a second tank because 8 millibuckets per tick is not enough. It's not per tick, it's per second, I think. We just need like 2 more resin. Also, I do have a feeling that the coke oven is producing some pollution. I have to disable pollution. But yeah, we have now an extra tank. It's actually not a huge waste because we will need way more tanks once we get to Steam. In order for the quest for the smeltery to count, I'm making some grout. We already have 100, but water takes time. So I thought maybe in the meantime, we can get some upgrades for our tools. This is redstone dust. Well, it was impure, I washed it, now we have redstone. I have already broken like 2 hammers for this, so this should be worth it. I did manage to get a ton of modifiers for my tools, so let's try to upgrade our tools with redstone. And yes, I can also use a crafting station. The problem is that I already have a recipe in it, so we just have to do this 2 by 2. It's not a big deal, it's like 25 times. Since I'm also chopping down a lot of wood, we put the rest on the hatchet. It does give us speed and redstone is abundant, but I don't really think it's a bad investment. Yeah, we're mining things faster. Oh yeah, way faster. With the pickaxe, it's noticeable. As for cooking the grout, we're not going to waste any coal. We're going to use the creosote oil that I'm getting from the coke oven. That's not how you do that. Yeah, we need to convert it into bricks. It's GregTech, it's always extra steps involved. But each bucket of creosote oil actually smells like half a stack of items. And we're getting it at a relatively fast rate. I think it's faster than water. I have made most of the parts that we needed for the smeltery, but the quest itself is not completed. Well, the quest for the actual smeltery is completed. This one is not. We need a seared stone and we also have to craft a casting table. Anyways, it's early in the morning and I just woke up and I got a buff, fire resistance 2. So I can just pick it up. Perfect timing. Although that's not very important, what I want to know, because I'm not gonna have fire resistance all the time, is that can we put it inside the seared tank and then put this seared tank in our backpack? Okay, we're good. The other very slight issue is that that was the only source of lava near our base. I think since they have switched to realistic terrain generation, you don't get lava pools anymore. As most of you probably know, the smeltery only works with lava, so lava is important and we can have 3 buckets. That's not water. I'm dying to know what it is. Poison. Do you like poison? Sure you do. It's actually not that bad. We can use it. Oh, that's more poison. That was a surprisingly weird village. Ouch. We're burning. We placed you down. And yeah, there was a blacksmith in the village, so we can have 2 more buckets of lava. And we put you in the backpack and run. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a bit of an overkill, but that's our smeltery. I had to craft a few blocks, I stole a few blocks, there were a few blocks here even. And since we have some lava, we can actually start producing stuff. So let's make some aluminium brass. It's a 3:1 ratio, so I have 18 aluminium and 6 copper. And we also need to make 1 seared stone, so that's 20 cobblestone if I'm not wrong. And I hear a zombie. This is a horrible village. There's holes everywhere. But yeah, we have our aluminium brass. We are obviously going to try and use that aluminium brass in order to make different casts. And I have also just realized we actually have 4 quarter hearts. So that's an extra life. Haven't died yet. First, give me my seared stone. Then I'm going to make a few casts, as much as we can. I didn't have enough blank patterns, but these are all the casts that we could have made. So I will upgrade my tools a teeny tiny bit later. For the moment, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take some tin, and we're also going to take some copper, and we're going to make dusts. And just in case you're wondering, if we mix all of them, that is bronze. It's not much. It's okay, we cook it anyways, I need way more copper. It doesn't really matter, my copper deposit is actually down there, so it's close by. All I'm trying to say is that yeah, we can waste all of that. Nobody cares. That's 60 more bronze dusts. Bronze is very important for us because with that, we would be able to make a boiler, finish the Stone Age, and move on to steam. So let's do that. We do need to have an iron furnace, some bricks, and some bronze sheets, and that is our first boiler. Yay! So the main problem is that that's really not the boiler that I want, because I have been lucky. And yeah, we have some silver. Using silver, we can make this simple solar boiler. It's going to be less efficient, but it just works with the sun. The problem is that in order to do that, we need glass, so we need some quartz sand. You have a garbage durability, why? And we also need some flint dust. 9 to be exact. Because it gives you the tiny pile. I thought they have removed the small piles, but it's okay. That gives us glass dust. And yes, that is exactly how you would make glass in this mod pack. There should also be a quest which gives us a chisel. Oh yeah, that's the one. I take the chisel. Somebody took damage. Oh, you're such an idiot. You fell from your own house. You scared me. Okay, that's our seared stone. Glass is also ready. We just need like 3 pieces and that's it. I'm not exactly sure, but I think I have way more silver because you will find the small ores when you're mining everywhere. But for the moment, we just need 1 boiler. So this is clear glass. We have to chisel it into normal. Weird mechanic, I'm aware of that. So again, an iron furnace. We need some silver plates. Oops. I made an extra hammer, don't you worry. And it's double silver plates. Oops. Yeah, I kind of need that extra silver. Let's find it. Yeah, that's 1. There's 2, 3, 5. And a bit of dust. Wait, I already have enough, right? I need 3. Exactly. We're good. So the only thing that I'm really going to need is just some copper. This is the copper mine. Yes, it wasn't a horrible grind, but there you go. Simple solar boiler. That's a quest. Didn't know that, but we put you over here. It will get water and it will heat up. And if I remember things correctly, it also needs a vent. Yeah, for excess steam. Maybe. Maybe you don't. Anyways, I want to be able to make steel, right? So what I need to do is to make a compressor, which has a very cheap recipe. But in order to get here, I have to finish every single quest. But since my chests are full, let's start making some fire clay. You know, I just want to get rid of some of the junk. That's it. Because of how the quests actually work, I have not made the fire clay, but you might notice we have enough clay dust and we have almost half the bricks that we need. And I also tried to organize my chests by a bit. It's not amazing, I know that. But anywho, I also checked the quest to see what kind of resources we need in order to progress, so I went mining. This part should go relatively smoothly, I hope. According to the quest book, our next machine is going to be an alloy smelter. So there you go. We can finally use that stupid steam for something. How would you know if it has steam? I don't really know, but I guess we will find out very soon. But our next quest is a very important alloy. I don't really know what it does though. My sandwich. Wrong chest. So I have mined a ton of redstone. Let's take a bunch. Hammers are garbage. A wrought iron is better, but I think at this very moment it's just gonna be very slow. Because you know, you can't make nuggets. You have to cut it. So that is some crushed redstone. The hammer broke again, which is amazing. Do we have more iron? Yes. You know, it's funny that less than a half a stack of redstone cost me like 12 iron. But don't you worry, we will soon make a forge hammer, so these things are going to be fixed. But we shall convert it into redstone. Lovely. I don't really have a ton of copper processed, so let's use 16 with, you know, 1 stack of redstone. Oh, it's working. Wow, you're loud. So it has steam, we know that. For some reason they want us to make 14 of that, but let's also get prepared to make the wire cutter. I don't really know about you, but I think it's too early to make a wire cutter. We're actually not going to have wires for a very long time. Oh, this thing is done. That was relatively... Oh, we're out of steam. Ouch. The pipe is hot. It's okay. We disconnect you. We let the steam build up. There is this big giant railcraft tank that we should use as a steam buffer, but that requires a ton of iron, which I don't really have at this very moment. But I think with steel, it's actually going to be way better. So the goal is to get steel. Now, do you work? We just need 14 for the quests. Thank you, thank you. I'm never ever gonna remember this recipe. What? So it's 1 screw, 2 rods. The screwdriver goes here, file and a hammer? Yeah, that worked. Thank you. Don't know why I needed that. We also need a piston. Oh my goodness. We have found some pistons, but we have to make new ones. So yeah, that's our carpenter block. It's nighttime. They want us to use the alloy that we just made. We have to convert it into a plate. And now I actually understand why we needed the wire cutter, because we need to make small gears. And I also need 1 fence. What can we dump? You. No, it's GregTech New Horizons, you're always missing something. But that's 1 piston. Are we good? Thank you. We just needed to make the 1 piston because we have already found pistons, but that is our compressor. That's what we need for the blast furnace. But the most important thing that I want is actually a forge hammer. I was under the impression that everything is going smoothly, but unfortunately not. We're out of iron. And this is our iron mine. I think I didn't calculate how much resources you need just to make tools and plates. As I have already mentioned, our next goal is to make the forge. I'm hoping it's not consuming that much steam. No, it's not. It's 80 liters per second. And we are producing 120 millibuckets per second. So as long as we have the sun, this guy can constantly run. But yeah, that's how you make a block of iron. I need to make an anvil so that I can make a forge hammer. An anvil requires like 5 blocks of iron. I honestly didn't know that. Are you going to give me some iron? Ah, it gives you 1 block back, okay. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that should be our anvil. And that should be a quest. Yeah? Or you need 2 anvils. Yeah, go to hell. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, I need 90 iron in order to do that. Ah, this is an optional task. Okay, that's fine. I need 2 anvils. Don't really know why, but okay. I'll make a pair. If you ask me, that was a huge waste of iron, but that is 2 anvils. And that should be a forge hammer. Please just be a quest. Thank you. So I know for a fact that 1 solar powered boiler is not gonna cut it. Because this guy eats the steam. But since Wayla has gone through an update and we know how much it's going to consume, let's give it like 1 raw coal. 640. Wow. But it gave me 2 coal. I do need some sort of a tank as a buffer. That looks fun. Yeah, I think I have to go with a tank from Railcraft. We don't have that much of a choice. However, I think it's best to stay focused. Ignore the NEI. I was focused. I was not looking at circuits. And yes, as I was mentioning, it's best that we stay focused and try to work towards steel. Steel is going to give me better tools are going to give me obsidian, and obsidian gives me alumite. And also mining takes a crazy amount of time. So yeah, I do really appreciate having a hammer. And yeah, this is a lapis vein, and I have been here mining some calcite. We have way more in the backpack. 64 plus 8, that's 72. I think I need 72. We also have some garbage dust. We should be fine. So let's go and see if we can assemble the blast furnace. Using mortars, I have broken down every single brick that I have made, well, except 1 stack apparently. We're going to mix it with clay dust, and that gives us fire clay. And that's a mob. Truly infernal. Slime ball. Thank you. And now that we have the fire clay dust, let's check if we have enough. I think we have enough. This optional task is complete. We need 216 compressed fire clay. This doesn't look like 215. Oh yeah, I'm missing some. My bad. Oh, come on. I don't really know why, but I keep getting one extra clay dust, which doesn't stack with anything, so I'm just gonna throw it away. But yeah, that is our fire clay. That should give us the blast furnace. However, we should put it inside the steam compressor. And that's gonna take ages. And ages. We're working with that speed. Yay, we have the one. So nice. Yeah, that was a bit of sarcasm. How do you make hoppers? Sorry I asked. Actually, to be very honest with you, hoppers are incredibly useful, so maybe we should make some. I have been mining a lot of iron. We might as well use that. We have plenty of time until that thing cooks. I have made some hoppers, I'm using them, the fire clay is ready, well, the bricks are ready, and I remembered that I also needed gypsum. And fun fact, I just got creepered twice. Inside that shaft. That is our 72 gypsum. I don't have a lot of steam. That's one of the problems. It's okay, we do the rest tomorrow. You know, I have broken so many hammers that I decided to use the forge hammer. But yeah, that is our fire clay. Is it enough? Yes. After waiting for cooking the bricks, we can finally start working on the actual blast furnace. I remember the first time that I did that, this was kind of a pain, because you need calcite and everything in order to make concrete. And then, you know, get one fire brick. And I need to do this like 26 times. So maybe it's a good idea to get some extra buckets. You know, we just get one bucket of concrete and rinse and repeat. Yeah, this is not that bad, it's actually quite nice. Correction, not 26 times, 36 times. That should be all the bricks. We shall use one of them in order to make the controller, and that should be the quest. Please be. Oh my goodness, thank you. And since I have already disabled pollution, maybe we just assemble it over here? How do you assemble it? Aha, second layer. So that is it, right? Yes. Can I have steel? Oh my goodness, finally. It's a 2-to-1 ratio and it takes 4 minutes. That's very slow, but we do have the capability of making steel, and now we can cheat a bit. I have 8 steel ingots. So yeah, that's another quest. Oh, this is a choice reward. Ore berries are garbage. It's just a nugget. Also over here, I'm taking the loot back. Sword of the Cosmos. They don't really listen to my suggestions. I got a cow spawn egg, and I got the sandwiches that I have just made. Not the cheese one. My dearest Dream Master. Get mesmerized. Sword of the Cosmos, please. It's not such a big thing to ask, just include it in the loot bags. I just got my first steel. How did they detect that? I don't really know, but that was exciting. Anywho, now that we have steel, we need to smelt it down. The steel pickaxe is going to allow us to mine obsidian. However, whenever you upgrade the tooling tinkers in this mod pack, it's gonna start at a lower mining level. So yeah, it's gonna be obsidian, but you do need to get an upgrade. Honestly, it's not a horrifying thing, and I do need to go mining because I want to make the multi-block macerator. So yeah, it should level up pretty fast. The gist of it is, once we level it up, we will mine obsidian and we will get alumite, and I can make a hammer. Also, I don't really have enough paper in order to make a sword cast, but I have a sword. You know, the blade. We can cast it, right? I don't need that part. Yeah, zombies again. But that's cool. Now we will also have a steel sword. Although now that we have steel, one thing which has me worried is that I do remember that there used to be blood moons. I haven't seen one yet, and I don't have a house. So maybe that should be my next priority, at least have something which I can close the door. And I lost my shovel. I didn't lose it, I just don't know where it is. It's okay, I can make a new one. That one had upgrades, it's okay. Who cares? But yeah, our pickaxe is now redstone, but it will be upgraded apparently. Anyways, let me go and do some mining. I'll be right back. Although now repairing tools is gonna be super expensive. Let's hope they have better durability. I'll be right back. Hello! I did a ton of mining, our pickaxe got an upgrade, and now we have harvest level of obsidian. So normally getting obsidian is a bit of a pain, but this platform is made out of obsidian. Takes ages to break. I think obsidian tile is also acceptable. Let's hope it is. There's also a spawner down there. I don't really want to destroy it. Yeah, you can see the particle effects. It's for a wisp. Wisps are nice. They do provide us with every single ethereal essence, including aurum, which is kind of rare. So are the tiles acceptable, or am I just wasting my time? No, it's acceptable. I just wanted to mention that steel takes ages. We need way more of these. But yeah, I have 5 here, that's a total of 7, and there should be some in the smeltery. The reason that we need alumite in order to make a hammer is that we need to make the large plates in order to make a tool forge. So yeah, And it is a combination of aluminium, steel, and obsidian. So the aluminium gravel ore, we have plenty. Let's use, I don't know, 40 of that. And I don't know, let's keep 2 of the steel. Just in case. Oh yeah, we have 4 ingots left. Okay, we're good. We also take a nap. I hope the aluminium is not going to combine with anything else. Okay, we got aluminium. And we should get alumite somewhere. That's the one. 8 ingots. Why? Oh, we don't have enough steel. It's quite alright, we will get more. It will take a very long time, but we will get it. In any case, I'm not even ready to make a tool forge because I need some paper. But steel tools are amazing, look. Super fast. Also super powerful. I also had to work on a very small hut and I'm very sorry that it looks ugly, but blocks are incredibly expensive. So yeah, sorry, that's the best I can do. We're even stealing the door. In this way, at least when I'm crafting stuff, I'm not scared of creepers. But in the meantime, we have 9 more steel, which is perfect. And that means in total, we have 16 alumite ingots. That's all we needed. The first time that I was playing GregTech New Horizons, the problem was that you could not actually make the hammer until you would hit the MVH or something, because you needed an extruder, but this time it does show you that you can in the JEI. You know, you can just cast it, you don't need to extrude. I could be totally wrong, I'm not sure, but we will see. Even if for some reason the JEI is wrong and we can't make a hammer, this is still a good thing. Because I can have an excavator, I can have a lumber axe. It's gonna be amazing. That has me worried, that's not a quest. Oops. Well, it's a retrieval task, so we don't have to craft it again. Okay. And in any case, I don't have that alumite ingot. I don't even have enough steel to make the hammer. We have to wait for like 20 minutes. Which honestly speaking, it's not a big deal, because I still need to do a lot of stuff. As I have already mentioned, I need the macerator. I also realized they added way more machines for this team age. And they're going to be amazing. All of them are multi-blocks. This used to be a graphite vein and, well, in the graphite veins, you can find diamonds. If I really want to start making the macerator, that's one of the things that I needed. Without diamonds, we could not have started. Also, we need a bit of gold. That's garbage. Alright guys, I have been preparing some stuff, so if you look at the timeline, it's day 111, but there could be a slight montage where the time is screwed up. I just wanted to give you a very small warning that no, there's nothing wrong with the timer. It's just some editing. Anyways, we did manage to get enough steel, so let's see if we can make a hammer. We can. We can make a lumber axe. We can. The rest of the parts I'm just gonna make out of iron and bronze. We don't have that much steel, and I just poured the wrong one. It's okay. Melt it again. I could be wrong with the parts, but let's see if we can assemble one hammer. I can. Awesome. It has to be upgraded though. We can also have a lumber axe, I suppose. So why did I need an extruder last time? Did they change it? This works, right? Yeah. And the lumber axe? Oh. Okay. Thank you, Dream Master. Okay, so this was probably a horrible idea. I'm actually scared. That was a bath. Dude, thank you. So you know this weird space that we have under our base? I decided to torch it up. And he withered me. Or she. Because you know, I do get a ton of mobs under my home and I don't even know if they're in my home or not. Okay, he's dead. And we got a potion. Yeah, I don't really know why I thought this is a good idea, but I guess we have to fight mobs one day. At least this one is for a noble cause. There's a spawner. Oh, hi. Okay, we can get rid of them. Somehow. Yeah. Okay, they're shooting themselves. We have exploding spiders. You two are just gonna cause lag. Yeah, get withered. I withered myself. This is 1.7, so regenerating your health is a big pain. It's actually quite nice. We might get extra hearts. They look horrifying. So the question is, do we break it or not? Yeah, I think we just go in, torch it up, and let's hope we don't get any spawns. Actually, I don't need this thing. We just break it. It will take a million years. Actually, I can't break it. It takes ages. And I'm lazy. We just have to get rid of you. Oh my goodness, cosmic meatballs. Purple drink. Chrome. I'm dying. Well, nothing else of significance, but at least we know where the spiders are coming from. Well, I don't know about you, but I think that went fine. At least I don't get mobs under the village. So now that the village has been secured, well, let me show you my progress. It's not something super fancy, but I decided to make a kitchen because this is 1.7 and regenerating your health is just a pain. So the more different types of food that we have, thanks to Spice of Life, we will get extra hearts. But that's not really the important thing that I did. The most important thing that I did is that we have the macerator. And that means we have ore dabbling. I think last time that I was playing GregTech New Horizons or Grandma's Teeth Nagging Horses, I actually used that macerator until the heavy voltage age. Not heavy voltage, high voltage. Yes. So we are going to have way more of these steam machines because there's also a hammer, which I find it really interesting. Because until I would be able to get a bending machine, I think this is a far better option. Anyways, you might notice we have an extra tank, we have some extra solar panels, and we do have a railcraft tank as a buffer for steam. And yes, we have mud. These machines are also surprisingly amazing. I just made some wrought iron, because now that I'm using these machines, especially the multi-block, I'm breaking less tools. So most of the bronze that I have made was made in a macerator. I don't need a pestle and mortar. This is why I also want to invest in a hammer. True, it's not the most efficient thing to have, but we have ore dabbling. So if things work really fast, we're actually saving time. How do you make a hammer? Yeah, that's why I made the wrought iron. We need the plates. Thankfully, despite my better judgment, I made the extra anvil. So that is the steam presser. It is a forge hammer. It's faster than a single forge hammer and it consumes less steam. The problem is that the rest of that is actually quite expensive. We need so many plates. And this is why I have a buffer. We are never ever producing enough steam in order to run the machines, so when the machines are not working, we're filling in a buffer. And don't you worry, I'm cooking way more bronze everywhere. This multi-block was surprisingly expensive and it almost made me bankrupt, but I think we're good. We need one more. Yes, we're good. Let's go and assemble it. We don't need the single block machine. Either I have a garbage memory or this is a bit difficult to assemble, but I think it goes something like this. And that one is even extra because we need the controller over here. That seems to be the structure. We're missing 2 iron blocks. I have crafted one. And I think a quest also gave us an iron block, which I put it somewhere. Yes. So are you the multi-block? That is the steam hatch. Output bus, input bus. Then what is wrong? Do I have to put the steam hatch in the front? I thought you can change it. Oh, that was the problem. Okay. Because with the other one, I actually changed everything. This one doesn't like it. It's fine. It just means that I need a few more pipes. You know, the thing is, I'm actually making a pipe, but each pipe is like 3 bronze ingots. It's okay, things are expensive now. They will be way cheaper in the future. But we just connect it to the steam hatch and this machine should be operational. Right? How do we... What? Voiding mode. Void nothing. These are shiny new machines and I even like the colors, so I'm not really sure how they work. But that's some iron ingots. And we turn you on with a soft mallet. Oh, that's fast. What? Oh, that's surprisingly fast. The steam consumption is a bit high. But until next episode, we can't really do anything about it. So, for the moment, this will do. It's fast. And that's the important thing. And besides, with our steam buffer, that should make us like 200 plates or something. Yeah. Did you give me more? Oh, no. That's correct. Another very small thing is that I have not crafted my own armor. Well, this one, we found it in that obsidian chest up there. The iron chestplate, which has Unbreaking 1 on it, I actually got it from a mob. And the flippers, we found it in a village or something. So I wanted to try and make my first armor. And let's see if we can do that. For that, we need some of this advanced alloy. Yeah, that was the part I was worried about. I was not sure we can use a steam compressor. There's also a multi-block compressor, but we will do that next episode. So industrial craft actually does give us a good armor. I forgot its name. Oh yeah, composite vests. I just realized this is the only armor piece they haven't changed the recipe for. Interesting. But this is gonna be expensive because we also need 21 steel, I think. Well, even if I have messed it up, it's not a big deal. We will need more anyways. I got all of that in 4.5 seconds and yeah, I needed 7. It's okay. Life is good. So that's the steel chest plate. And I just need the advanced alloy. 3 more. 2 more actually. And while we are doing this, how do you repair things? The enchantment. Oh, we can't use that anyways. Because I need a Thumbcraft wand. We won't have it for a very long time. But mumbling aside, that is our composite vests. Gives us way better armor. From the armor point, I think it's compatible to netherite, but you don't have armor toughness, so I'm not really sure how it works. Just before we wrap up today's episode, there are a few things that I wanted to mention. I'm also getting prepared to go on a very small adventure, so let's try to make one more backpack. That was weird, but fine. And I'm also taking some seer tanks just in case we find lava. And I think we're going to go southeast. Yeah, that is southeast. Perfect. Anyways, let's talk about the things that I wanted to mention. Well, first off, apparently this modpack takes 8,000 hours to finish. Don't know if that's a fact or what people use to clickbait, but 8,000 hours means that if I play this modpack, you're damaging my chestplate. As I was saying, 8,000 hours means that if I play this modpack for 8 hours every single day, it will still take me 3 years to finish the entire thing. To be very honest with you, I have absolutely no idea if the rumors are true or not, but 3 years is a very long time. I think the way that it's supposed to work is that you have to run it on a server and just forget about it for a few years. The problem with having a server is that, well, you're not playing the game, the computer is. So in order to finish this modpack, we're going to advance as far as humanly possible. You know, every time I pick up lava, I have fire resistance. I was trying to save the forest. Not really, I just wanted the lava. So what do I mean when I say that we want to advance as far as humanly possible? It means that whenever we reach a point where a server is required and I have to AFK for like a month, we're just gonna call it a day. Because I want to play the game, I don't want the computer to do it for me. And to be 100% honest with you, I have absolutely no idea where that point is. So I think as a benchmark of how far we should advance, we're going to use the playthrough of Lord Tree who has been folded. I mean threefold. Oh, there's a village. May the Dark One bless the soul of the person who invented F5. Anyways, I'm mumbling a lot. I just wanted to mention that that's going to be probably our endgame. I don't know. Another thing is that this modpack sometimes gets a bit grindy and you might burn out. So there are going to be breaks in between and we do something simple, a normal modpack. And they say humans are intelligent. Come back. Oh my goodness, there were guards. We run. Beautiful chests. Okay, still is nice. Sorry that I have bored you, but with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one. Bye bye. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, the next modpack that we are going to play in parallel with this one is going to be All the Mods 10 Arcana. I have recorded 1.5 episodes of that, but you have to be a bit creative in that one, so once I get to like 3 or 4 episodes, I'll release it. Bye bye again.